Hello, I'm Sophia from Skills Development Scotland. So a couple of years ago, my boss called me into his office and he gave me a report about the fourth industrial revolution, and he said, what does this mean for us? What does it mean for Scotland? What does it mean for Skills Development Scotland? What does it mean for skills for the future? So Skills 4.0 was born. You've all heard of the first industrial revolution, a time of massive social upheaval, lots of automation compared to what they had back then. There were new skills required, completely new jobs, and from then there was a second revolution when electricity came along, and a third revolution when we got computers, we got electronics. Again, jobs changed massively, we needed new skills, our lives changed, what we could do with electronics really affected the way that we lived and worked. So what's different about the fourth industrial revolution? Well, the change doesn't seem to come slowly and in blocks. It seems to be just all happening at once and building an exponential, and we're in sort of a constant state of flux. And as humans, we tend to like a little bit of stability, so we're really struggling to cope with this. And you can see that in the rise of mental health issues and political upheaval, because people are craving that someone telling them things are going to be certain. So it really feels like change is relentless, and we're just being swept along with it, and we don't have any control over it. And it's also quite hard to predict what is going to happen. We can stick our finger in the wind and we can speculate, but we have no real certainty about what's going to happen. So we tried to think about skills that will stand us in good stead regardless of what the future brings. And I'll talk you through some of these skills. So the first set is self-management. So being able to take initiative to drive your ideas forward and to create change. Adapting, so remaining resilient, wanting to learn how to learn, to continually learn. Also having the integrity to know what your own values are and to make decisions based on that. And really importantly, being able to focus, because there is so much information and so much noise coming at us all the time. So how can you sort the bullshit information from the information that's really important and that will allow you to remain productive? The second set of skills is social intelligence, and none of these will seem unfamiliar to you. These are all about people, so being able to communicate well with others. We live in such a complex, interconnected, international world now. We really need to be able to communicate well. Empathy, really important, understanding other human people, collaborating to get things done. All of this is really important. I mean, all of you in the room will know about this. And also being able to take the lead and feel confident that you can take people with you and collaborate together. The third set of skills, all of you in the room will also be very familiar with: innovation. Now, if we don't just want the change to happen to us, if we want to create change, and especially in Scotland to be able to drive things rather than let technology just come here and tell us what to do, we need to remain constantly curious, come up with really creative ideas, and it's not just, creativity isn't just for artists and engineers, science, all those great things. To make sense of things that aren't just face value, so look at things holistically and critically think about things. And so again, not taking things at face value, but really being able to problem solve. And we've called this skills model, we've called these skills meta skills, because we think they're timeless, they've been around forever, and they're higher order skills that allow you to learn other skills, and regardless of what's going to happen in the future. And how do you learn these skills? Well, not by reading a book about empathy and thinking that you are more empathetic. You need to practice these skills. Experiential learning in the workplace. What we're doing at Skills Development Scotland is thinking about how can you create qualifications which bridge the gap between knowledge and skills. So many of you will have heard of modern apprenticeships, they've been around for a long time. We're expanding that to foundation apprenticeships in high school and graduate apprenticeships, which are degree level apprenticeships up to master's level, where you're working from day one and you're bridging the gap between the great knowledge and cutting edge knowledge you're learning at university, but also you're learning your real life skills and these meta skills, which are so important. You're learning them in the workplace because employers are always saying that people don't have these skills, so they only have the knowledge, so trying to bridge that gap. And we can learn a lot about education in the earlier years because young kids, they have creativity, they're really curious, they're encouraged to do that at school, and then it seems to be bred out of you when you get to high school and it's all about exams and all about being able to pass a test rather than to develop these skills. So the robots are here, they're real, they can do many physical things, they can start to do some of the more mental tasks through artificial intelligence and such. So what sets us apart as humans is our social emotional skills. They make us essentially human, so we shouldn't get into a skills race with the robots, rather concentrate on what makes us humans and try and make the absolute best of that to set us apart. So I'll leave you with this question. Thank you for listening. I'm Sophia from Skills Development Scotland. If you want to know more about what we're doing so much with meta skills, how you might measure them, how you put them into all the qualifications. So I'll probably be having a drink later. If you want to ask me questions, please come and chat. Thank you.